He played against Burnley for I believe that was 5 minutes, and he got a point.
Wow. No, I think...
Good old John Parrott.
I see Liverpool winning this. I think it's going to be 3-0 Liverpool. I don't think Spurs...
3-0 Liverpool?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think I'll keep on the clean sheet back wagon, and I'd love to get Manny back in my team. If only we could put him as...
Who's going to be the Liverpool guy, though? Mane or
Mane.
Salah? Could be any of them.
Mane over Salah.
I'm going to go for Salah this week. I think, goal did him good at the weekend. An assist as well, so,
I like what Sean's done with the two Liverpool boys at the back. I think it's a strong move again. Robertson and Arnold, they're both really hitting form. They're awesome. So that's a good shout as well, either of them two. So I would be
definitely, I reckon 3-1.
Okay, excellent. The only other game on Saturday that I want us to really look at, and I think we collectively think is a good one, is Leicester versus Southampton. Sean, what do you think?
The question on everyone's lips this week is Vardy going to be back? Do you keep on him? That's something that's still to be seen. I don't know how late you want to leave that before you're making that sort of game time decision. If you could free up that 10 million to use elsewhere for a week if he's not going to play.
75% chance of playing.
Yeah.
It's his birthday apparently, so
So he'll be on the WKD.
I'm sure he's going to want to score a goal because he always wants to have a party.
Yeah, he'll be dying to get back, right? Yeah. That's 2 Premiership games in a row that he's missed, and he doesn't like doing that. More importantly, he wants to finish top of the Golden Boot this season, and he doesn't want to miss any chance for that. So as long as I think he will be back. I said that last week though, so hopefully we see him return, and hopefully you can bank on him. I think where there's value for Leicester though, and I think where people are missing out, and someone that's coming in a lot of form is Ayoze Perez. Yeah, he's been absolutely blind in the last 2 weeks. He's got 13 points and 10 points respectively. He got a good goal against Newcastle and an assist as well. Yeah. So I would start to maybe think about him, and especially if people around the table aren't liking Maddison as much. Perez is cheaper at only 6 million. He's been pretty much a bargain over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. He's been in the top 10 net transfers, and as well as Maddison, to be honest. I think both of those players.
I find it funny that Perez is not playing more regularly. He's a really good player. Maddison, Perez, Tielemans and Barnes has surely got to be there 4 in midfield.
Yeah, and we all thought he would come in more after his hat-trick against Southampton in Gameweek 10, and then we were all surprised to just kind of see him not consistently make the grade.
Yeah, but I think where Leicester get their cleanies, you've got that Sidibe. I think he's
Ndidi and Sidibe.
And I think kind of both of them, they're almost in that, playing a bit of that kind of how Kante used to play for them. So I think they do help, shore up their defence a little bit. So that's probably where Brendan Rodgers is trying to sacrifice, maybe juggling some of his midfielders around.
So Leicester have a difficult Southampton have a difficult game against Leicester. They then got a little bit of reprieve. They've got Wolves and Crystal Palace after that. Home against Wolves and Crystal Palace. Will Danny Ings continue? Maybe if he doesn't do it this week, will he continue the next 2 weeks? I think he'll get at least 2 goals in the next 3 games, and for that reason I would keep him in my team. He will consistently get those points. So still 6.7 million, still very cheap, and believe it or not, still only 20% of people picking him.
So you seeing Danny scoring against Leicester?
I don't know about this game immediately, but I think within the next 3 weeks he'll score at least twice. Okay. Right? And for me as a striker, I think that will do it for me. So keeping him up there for 6 points.
Who's going to win this game then?
This game I think it's going to be Leicester. All on Leicester. For Southampton, I don't really see anyone else. Stevens has hit a bit of form recently. He got 11 points against Spurs, and really just getting that assist and 2 bonus points. Jack Stevens there, so defender. But again, I wouldn't have any Southampton defenders just because Leicester are so lethal. And they're back.
Agreed. So Maddison, Perez potentially, or Vardy if he plays, would be the 3 to call out there. Anyone I'm missing?
That's how I see.
Okay, guys, moving into another game to talk about. I think we should probably talk about both of the games on the Sunday. We will just cover off on the final games on the Saturday. Palace v Arsenal is the first game, sort of early morning kickoff. Aubameyang potentially. I mean, the problem with Palace is they defend very well and stoutly, especially at Selhurst Park. I don't see a huge number of goals here for Palace Arsenal. It is Arteta. He is trying to change things. It's a good feel-good factor at Arsenal, but the old wily Roy Hodgson, he's not going to make it easy for Arsenal.
Interestingly, so the top 7 out of 8 value players for Crystal Palace are a doubt for this weekend's game. So that might be interesting. It might play into the favour of Arsenal if they've got a bit of a weakened team for this weekend. So
you're selling me a Aubameyang here.
Yeah, it could
maybe
be.
I'll get on it. Maybe.
What about Pepe? He's got a goal against Man U.
He did. Yeah.
So embarrassing. Wow. Socrates and a Pepe double.
He didn't even hit it properly. We said he can't shoot it.
He almost got an assist from the corner as well.
He kicked it into the ground.
Maybe get Pepe in, mate. So maybe there is value in Arsenal. I mean, Arteta, new guy, Lacazette, Pepe, Aubameyang. Not really Palace, I wouldn't say, as Neil's called out. There's quite a few injuries there. Zaha is amongst them that's injured. Next game, Chelsea-Burnley on Saturday. I already called this out. I think Abraham could be a good shout. I think Chelsea-Burnley, there's players there, like, for me, Ricky's cousin, Chris Wood, is always kind of amongst it. He's one of those that is worth just having. I wouldn't at the moment, but I'm considering it if he comes against the right team. So that's that. I think Chelsea might actually be a strong one. I know you mocked the Willian transfer earlier, but Willian's playing, and Frank sees him as the sort of older head in that team. And I think in this one, Chelsea need to bounce back. They need a result. They come off the bat themselves of a draw, and they need to prove some people wrong. So I see Chelsea beating Burnley. Abraham for me, still think that there's value in Willian and Abraham. I'm not really with Mount anymore, and I think Pulisic is
unmounted Mount.
I've unmounted Mount. Could be wrong this week though. But then Everton-Brighton's your next one. Sounds like a juicy one, doesn't it? Old Everton-Brighton. Can't wait for that. After Liverpool's kids beat them in the FA Cup, Everton be reeling.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, they lost against Man City as well past game week. Brighton actually hitting a decent bit of form. I mean, they got a good result against Chelsea. Great goal.
What a goal that was. The overhead from Jan. What's his name, Ricky?
Gorkason or something. I can't remember. I can't pronounce it right. I'm butchering it.
Ricky will get it.
He's looking up now.
The Brighton lad, he scored the overhead kick. How do you pronounce his name?
What a goal.
I've got no idea, mate.
Yankovac was his name. Yankovac. Something like that. Thanks, Ricky. Inspirational input. So he could be worth getting in, but I think what we're saying, Everton v Brighton, it's just a bit of a boring game, and I think it's going to be defensive, not going to be a lot of goals. If I was going to throw two players out there, go with obviously Richarlison, and then for Brighton, Yankovac, he's got 2 in 2. Why not?
Yeah, why not? Either him or Morpay.
Definitely, or Morpay. Okay, great. So we covered Leicester, Southampton, Man U, Norwich done. The only other game on the Saturday is Wolves v Newcastle. Sean John McGinn fanboy, we were suggesting Jimenez maybe coming into your team. They are playing Newcastle, letting 3 in the last game, Newcastle. Wolves are looking okay. They're hitting good form.
I wasn't suggesting Jimenez. I was suggesting more Traore. That man he just continues to impress me. There was a bit of talk about him last week about why he wasn't wearing a sponsor on his shirt. I don't know if anyone saw that. Their nice green kit. Did anyone get an answer on why he wasn't?
No. Religion.
Yeah, there was all sort of theories going around, but we didn't know that. Traore impresses me. Maybe not always getting the most points, but I just like the guy.
It's funny I say that Wolves come on the back of good form. They've lost their last 2 games in the Premier League, so they're going to want to turn that round pretty sharpish, right?
The other thing with Wolves is they don't score a ton of goals. You notice that, right? I know we spoke about it before, so that's the tough thing about Wolves.
Unless they're playing City, that's the only time they score.
That's the only double against City every time. But yeah, it's tricky because Jimenez invariably is always involved in their attacking play, right? And he is class. He's world class. There's been rumours of Man United are trying to go after him at the moment.
Nice.
I think Jimenez and Traore are your best bets. Obviously, Traore is a great value pick as well. But I am looking at Jimenez closely, and if he doesn't come up trumps the next couple of weeks, then I might have to start looking elsewhere, I think, because he hasn't really done it the last 2 game weeks. As you say, they're on the back of 2 losses.
But Newcastle are on the back of 3 losses. So these are 2 teams going in all on losses. Newcastle have let in 33. I see another defeat to Newcastle. Yeah. I do see Traore and Jimenez stepping up. Neto as well. He seems to be playing quite well for Wolves.
He's a good player.
Yeah, definitely a good player. So there's 3 to look at and consider there. Being Man United linked to Jimenez, we've also been linked to Grealish.
And Maddison.
Take that with a pinch of salt. Yeah, getting linked with everyone. We already got him, mate. I think we sold him to you, didn't we? You have this lad. Okay, so that's everything for Saturday. And then the games on Sunday, Bournemouth versus Watford, Aston Villa versus Man City. So the Bournemouth-Watford very quickly. We've all seen the troubles that Bournemouth have had against West Ham. 4-0, slipped themselves into the relegation zone. Bournemouth are 18th now in the league. 1 win in the last 5. And then you've got Watford. In the last 5, 3 wins, 1 draw. I've only lost 1 in the last 5. Watford are definitely benefiting from the new manager syndrome, and Pearson has turned it round. I can see Watford doing Bournemouth. I know it's away at Bournemouth for Watford, but Watford did rest a bunch of players in their FA Cup game. They're taking it seriously, and Pearson is going to demand 100%. For me, there's goals in this game. I like Watford here. I think, the players for Watford to look at,
Delafeu, Decore, they played well against Wolves, to be honest.
Yeah.
They really did. And
they've also got the guy up front, is it Sarr?
Sarr, that's right, yeah.
Who actually is a midfielder on the game. So comes in at 6.2 as midfielder. Not a bad shout potentially for some people. So could be worth going for. Bournemouth, nothing?
Nothing for me, mate.
No, I think if you've got Rico, maybe consider benching him if you
Bench
can.
Rico.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Villa versus Man City. Sean, I know you've been studying this. What are you thinking?
I think both these teams are coming in on the back of 2-1 victories. Villa have, however, this season seemed to be getting the wrong side of the luck. They've had some good performances and not necessarily got the good results. And at the moment, they're kind of hitting a lot of injuries. We talked about John McGinn, obviously breaking his ankle, and he's still out. And then over the last week, they've had their goalkeeper, Heaton, is injured, and then also Wesley as well, is now out as well.
Yeah.
So that's kind of going to be a bit of a struggle for them. 3 of their starters out, and they're playing Man City, who wants to be playing them with a full strength team. So I will be reluctant to go anywhere on Villa, although Grealish was brilliant this week, and hopefully he can find some form. Not for me, I don't have him in my team. I don't think I will have him, but Neil van Dijk, you have him. Ricky Pellegrini, you have him. Yeah. You're happy with him being there?
Do you think Khadija's worth getting in? Khadija is Aston Villa's sub-striker. 9 goals from Khadija last season in the Championship. He was their go-to man last season before they signed Wesley. He's going to have to play. Worth it?
I don't know.
No, it's
5.4 mil?
If anything, I would say, what about Trezeguet? I know that's a midfielder, but there's got to be more value in there.
Are you seeing Man City stuffing Villa?
I do, and just looking at the result earlier this season was 3-0. They got a good result there. The last time before that they played was 2016. City winning 4-0. Aguero almost got a hat-trick in that game. He scored 2 and missed a penalty. And if he plays on Saturday, I think he might want to find some form again, and that's an opportunity there. To get Aguero in your team. He's
maybe
still expensive,
Aguero's
11.3 million.
Yeah, maybe that's your choice for Kane.
Yeah.
It is, but I'm 0.3 million short, and I just can't afford him. And it's really paying.
Take out
I don't know whether
Arnold,
to do
mate.
whether I don't know whether it's worth the 4-point deduction to do 2 transfers this week. I've never done it, so I'm a bit reluctant to do it.
Do it.
There's only one way you can gain points on me, it seems. So maybe I'll do that. We'll see. But yeah, City just going to strike some form. Just going to keep on. And I don't see them not winning.
That's excellent. I mean, that game that leads us perfectly into Captain Contenders.
So I'm going to say who I'm not going to go as my captain is not going to be De Bruyne. I was disappointed in him this week. I mean, he was my de facto captain as my vice and only got 2 points there.
Who's your one for this week then?
If he's in your team, let's go Aguero.
You're going to say Aguero?
Yeah, let's go.
I liked that. I'd like to see who people are going to choose from that City game if you do go it. Sean's putting his money on Aguero. NVD, who's your captain contender?
Yeah, I really screwed up not keeping Salah as my captain. He was my captain for I think the past 2 game weeks, and then didn't captain him. So I'm going to go back to Salah. I think he's just going to do it against Spurs. We'll repeat the Champions League final, get a cheeky goal right at the start.
How many did he get against Spurs in that?
He only got 1 in the Champions League final, but that's all good.
It was all that was needed. So okay, that's an interesting one. So you're going Salah against Spurs. That's the sort of one I would steer away from because I just get concerned they're 2 meant to be big teams, but someone's got to win it, and it's people that make those decisions that benefit. So Salah from NVD, I don't think it's a bad shout. Ricky Pellegrini, what have you got? One captain contender.
Yeah, well, one captain contender this week, I will have to go for Marcus Rashford, to be honest with you. If I had him in my team, I'd be banking on him and doing well against Norwich. I think back at Old Trafford, I think Man United got a point to prove after that horrible loss against Arsenal. So at Old Trafford, Man United always pick up a penalty here and there as well. So as long as he scores, then I would go for Rashford.
Yeah, you took that off my tongue. That was one I was going to go for. From there, I think I'll just quickly tell people Captain has sent me in a captain contender. I say he sent me in 1. He sent me in 3, and they're all from Liverpool. So he's saying Mane, Salah, or Trent. I mean, Interesting you'd go there. I feel like Trent and Robertson, and you said this, Sean, last week. Robertson, you were going to captain him, and you didn't actually captain him. And had you of, you'd have had an extra 12 points. Because those Liverpool boys, if you think they're going to keep a clean sheet, and they do, the chance they then get an assist, they're not bad for a captain contender. So definitely merit.
And we always overlook defenders as captain contenders, but there's actually value in there. We said that last week, and then I didn't have the balls to follow through.
Yeah, this week I don't see it for Liverpool. I do see Spurs scoring, so I don't think that would be it. The one that I will throw out there, though, is for Manchester United against